Welcome back to another episode of Millennial Gems. I am your host, Akil Mack, and today we're going to talk about the essentials of setting up your business. Now, not everybody needs a business, not everybody needs to be an entrepreneur, but you know, everybody should have their money invested somewhere. And so I just wanted to just do this episode just for, the aspiring entrepreneur, the aspiring business owners out there who are just looking to find the proper steps needed to, uh, you know, setting up the business, kind of just setting the foundation. So let's get right into it. Uh, so one of the first things that you want to do is you want to establish your entity name. So, for example, my business name is Millennial Gems LLC. And that's just what I decided to name it. Now, I could have made it, you could use your name, like Aquila McIntosh LLC. I could have done that. Or, you know, uh, again, like I use my company name, Millennial Gems LLC. You just want to make sure you just come up with a unique name that isn't already taken in the state you're already in, because remember, it is on public file, and you know you want to make sure somebody else isn't already using it. So the easiest thing would just be to use your name, or just maybe like your company name. Other thing is too the type of name that you use. So you want to stay away from you know so and so trucking company or trucking, or so and so, real estate or something like that. It's just you want to stay away from high risk industry names. So, like because when you're gonna get a funding, you know, the banks are gonna look at that stuff and they'll be like, yeah, no, we don't want to give money to these high risk business names. So, just create just a regular business name. You can use things like, so and so holdings, or so and so consulting, so and so management, so and so group. These are just basic words you can use at the end for your entity name. So and then there are a bunch of different sites you can do it. You can do it through Zen Business. You can do it through Busy. You can set up your entity through Northwest Registered Agent. That's who I did. That's who I set up my LLC through. So um I used them for like the first year. Now I mainly just use them for just as like my registered agent. And all a registered agent is just somebody who, if there's like a complaint against like your company or something like that, that 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 address, that registered agent will receive your mail on behalf of that. They will receive any notices on behalf of whatever, being accused of your company or anything like that. But yes, those are just some options you can use. Again, you don't have to use them. That's just what I chose to do. Again, I would just get them just for like the registered agent, and then you know you can easily just pay for your entity every year. You don't have to pay it through one of these companies unless you want to pay these companies extra money to do it. You can easily do it to yourself on, the security of Secretary of State site. So everybody has one, and then just look at what the fee is and just pay it every year, the annual report fee, and it differs for every state. So that's the first thing you want to do. The next thing you're going to need is an EIN number. Now, this is essentially your business's social security number. So it's very unique. Every business has an EIN number. Um, you don't want to use your social security number because you want to be able to keep your business and personal stuff separate. Hence why you should also get an LLC to keep that stuff separate. You could operate as a sole proprietor too, but LLC if you want to keep the business and your personal assets separate. Give you that business liability. But anyway, your EIN is essentially your business's social security number, right? So, and you don't have to pay anybody to get this. You can easily just go to irs.gov, plug in whatever, however you plan to be taxed, and yeah, they will spit out an EIN, and you keep this number because the next thing you're going to need it for is a business bank account. You're going to need to have a business bank account. All your profits, any money that comes in, revenue, you're going to need a separate account from your personal account. You do not want to commingle funds because you're giving the IRS a reason to come and audit you. By the way, if I didn't already mention, I am a certified QuickBooks Pro advisor. So I help business owners organize their financial transactions. So if you want to avoid this problem, my suggestion would be to hire a bookkeeper like myself who will do all the organizing for your numbers, all your transactions, keep your books up to order, provide you profit and loss statements, balance sheets. Just keep everything in order for you so you can focus on growth of your business. If you need a bookkeeper or know somebody who needs a bookkeeper, make sure you hit the link that it will be in the show notes or in the description if you're watching this on YouTube. All right. So, yes, business bank account. You want to keep those separate. Keep your business and your personal stuff and your personal funds separate. The best things you can do is work with like credit unions. Credit unions are a little bit smaller and they're better working with the people. I think it's a little easier to probably get funding with them. You could also use like a regional bank. So like I'm here in Mass, right? So a credit union here is I use Metro Credit Union, right? But then a regional bank would be like Citizens Bank. So that's more of like a Northeast bank. I could use Citizens, but then you have like the national banks, right? Which is like the Chase, the Wells Fargo's, the Bank of Americas. These are the national big banks. A little tougher to get funding from. But that's what I was saying. You can open up a bank account with all of these. Doesn't matter. I would just say the easiest route to start with would be a credit union because they're a little bit easier to work with the people. They're a little bit more for the people. Not and it won't be like real like shady about like funding and stuff like that. So after you've got your business entity name, after you got your EIN, after you got your business bank account, next thing you want to do is you want to set up a business email, right? So you want to obviously now start to get ready to create an online presence. But in order to do that, you're going to need a business email. So you're going to need somewhere where people need to contact you or get in support of the bit, or, contact the business about business needs. You'll need an email for that. So you need to have a professional email. Don't use Gmail. Don't use Yahoo. Don't use AOL. These are not professional emails. Go to G Suite, and that's G Suite, GSUITE, G Suite. You can get a professional email from there, and you can put whatever you want it to be at your company name. So, like, my current email is bookkeeping@millennialgems.com. You could do something like info@blanketyblank.com, support@blanketyblank.com. Those are kind of like the main two. contact@blanketyblank.com, just something like that. So that way some if people need to get in contact with your business, they have that professional email there. And I think on Google it's like, basic starter pack. I think it's like $7-8 or something like that. Real simple, real cheap. So get yourself a professional email. And then once you have yourself a professional email, also you'll need to set up a business address. So again, when things are being sent to your business, you want to have them sent to your address, unless you want them personally sent to your address. But I would just say get a business address because, again, like this stuff is going to be public information. So when people look up your business, they're going to see all the information. So you don't want to use your own personal address where people can find you at home. You want to use a business address for anything like that. If you don't want people, you know, sending things to your home or popping up at your home and be able to see where you live, make sure you have established a business address. A few options you can use: iPostal One, Regis, Alliance. These are some ones, some sites that you can use to get yourself a business address. And again, it's just also like professional look, because when banks look at stuff like that, when people look at how legitimate your business is to be with funding, they're going to look to see, okay, well, where is this address? If it's your home that pops up, I'm like, oh yeah, I can't take you serious, right? Because you're doing, so and so at home. So just make sure you have a business address. Um, the next thing after that is to make sure you establish a, online presence. You want to just make sure you want to be well known. Again, you have a product, you have a service, you need a way to promote that product, a service. You need a way to market it. Um, so you need to have like online presence, website, social media pages. These are things that, they help, promote what you do or show people what you do. So, you can go to like Squarespace, get yourself a domain. And domains, they cost maybe like 12 to maybe, I don't know, maybe $50. And this is just a year, depending on, what ending you want. So I would do that also too very early on. Try to find a domain for your company or whatever domain name. Try to lock that down early before somebody else gets it. But again, you can go to like Squarespace, you can get a domain. Wix offers that. If you're doing like a products type store, Shopify, you got options of how to establish like an online presence. So, yeah. And then lastly is a business phone number. So it's not incredibly essential to have a business phone number, but it does just help just kind of just bring more, you know, legitimacy and professionalism to your company, especially again, like when, you know, banks are looking up like how legitimate your company is, they're going to want to see the address, phone number, they're going to want to see all that business email. They're going to want to see all of that. How legitimate are you? You have an online presence. They need to have all these things here in order to want to give you money. In order to give you money, you want to have all these things in order, all these things lined up. So, and for phone numbers, you could easily go to, Ring Central, Grasshopper, Quick Talk, Google Voice. There you have options out there to get a business phone number. So I would say just make sure you have all of those down in order. Okay, I'll run through them one more time. So make sure you establish your business name, establish your EIN number, get your EIN number for free. You shouldn't be paying anybody for that. Get it for free, irs.gov. Get a business bank account, get a business address, establish online presence, get a business email, and business phone number is optional. But just for all legitimacy, just get a business phone number too. So if you guys definitely found some value in this episode, definitely hit that like, subscribe, turn on those post notifications if you're on YouTube. You can follow the podcast, follow me on Instagram. I'll leave all my @names down in the description and in the show notes. Share this with another aspiring entrepreneur, business owner. The content we create here is just that I create is just mainly, it's just to help just anybody who's just looking to get in the game. Like there's still so many people out here who just don't know how to get in the game. And so like I just want to provide the platform, the information for people to aspire, the aspiring entrepreneurs and business owners to just learn the basics and just get in the game. So but that being said, if you do need a bookkeeper, again, I will leave a link down in the description and in the show notes to schedule a consultation with me, and we can take it from there. So I'll see you on the next episode. Peace.